Hey guys, and welcome back. It's a couple of preppers. It is the first full day of spring. It did snow overnight, unfortunately. We got about 3 or 4 inches, but it's probably about 41 degrees now or so. So we came out to some local hunting grounds. We're going to take a hike, check out Chris's new boots, and see what we see. We'll take you with us.
Good.
So we've come out here and we've come up to this area where these really amazing marshlands here actually start turning into the river and into more woodlands. But while we're here, I'm going to take a minute because it's really great. This snow all here is normally water. It's actually frozen over enough to walk on. And right out here, I've spotted quite a few really good tinder materials. So I've got my scavenger bag and we're going to grab a couple for wherever we hunker down to make a fire later. It's always hard in the winter because you gotta find stuff that's above the snow, isn't gonna collect snow when it snows and is still dry. That looks a little wet, but over on this side we've got the marsh grass that's sticking up, and this is completely dry to the bone. If we do the normal test and I stick it to my cheek, it's not cold at all. There's absolutely no moisture in that. It's completely dry. So I'm gonna grab a decent amount of this. And do be careful because there are little wet pieces in here too that I may pull out later, but most of it is completely dry. And then I do not know what this plant is called over here, but I do know that whenever it goes into dormancy in the winter time, it becomes extremely dry and brittle, so it's going to make some really nice kindling. And I'm not going to be hurting the bushes by taking a couple branches off of it, so. And if you can hear on the camera the snap that's in there because of how completely dry the little twig ends are on these. So I'll grab a bunch of this too and we'll have some materials to start a fire later. We continued our journey along the water a little bit over here to all these cattails, which this is when the ball head or whatever it's called opens up to release all of its seeds. But even though it's not a cattail, the straight tail anymore, the seeds are still very dry and very flammable, so we'll grab a couple of these too.
So while we're out here, I had an old flashlight that we took the parabolic lens out. And you always see it done, so we wanted to give it a shot. While we got some full sun here, it's a little late in the day, so it will be going away. Just give it a shot now and see if it'll work. We won't make a fire here, but I just wanted to give it a shot, so see how long it takes. Trying to find that focus beam. Find the best spot. Focus it on. I mean, that sun's hot on my face right now. So, unless it doesn't go behind those clouds again.
So I was walking around and that made me jump a little bit. Coyotes must have gotten the poor thing.
So it took long enough where I put it down, focused it nice, pulled it back a little bit so it got more of a concentrated spot down in there. But no, it's been 15, almost 20 minutes and cloud cover is just coming back over. So yeah, it's time to move on. We either need a bigger one or, I don't know, more time, better sun. We'll see. We'll try it again one day.
Are you okay? Yeah, well, I know where not to walk. This way. Huh? Oh, nice. And back towards the river, I can hear it off to the right.
All the streams are filled up and the swimmers are never like actually wandering.
Yeah. All this runoff from the snow. Making all the water higher. Oh, there it is off in the distance. That's where the tributary meets the river there. Found this trail here. It does lead down to the water over there.
It just snowed today, so it's got to be decently fresh.
Yeah, the only thing we can think is it's got to be a beaver dragging itself along. Okay. We decided to follow the beaver trail. Try to see where it goes.
It's determined by the way the snow's overlapping and originally it looks like it's going this way. It's deep into the woods. So.
And under this logs, that's more confirming that it's a beaver, because they'd have to be pretty small to slide underneath that. So, came down and over this hill, and it looks like got another little brook over here. So probably just went down into that, I guess. That's funny, I came and just slid right off this drop into the water. You're right, that is a pretty steep drop. Tilly just did like a water slide down in. That's funny.
I don't see any tracks on the other side of the water, so it must have just swam
Yeah.
the river somewhere.
So way to go from brook to brook.
Either upstream or downstream.
Alright. Oh, well, at least we know where one of their trails is now. Because they tend to use the same ones over and over again. Yeah, the other ones we've seen, they go, you know, really short areas where they can go up over hills and back down. Huh. That's funny. Ta-ha. This is becoming way too much fun. And we're just hiking out with the sun.